nations all over the world are rumored to have recovered metal debris from UFO crashes. And some experts believe these fragments may contain secrets beyond imagination. How much do we really know about these mystery metals? Have they already found their way into our daily lives without us even knowing? And do they pose a grave danger we have yet to understand? From self-healing hulls to sinister alien implants, join us as the secrets of UFO metals are unsealed.
A global effort has begun. Secret files hidden from the public for decades, detailing every UFO account, are now available to the public. We are about to uncover the truth behind these classified documents. Find out what the government doesn't want you to know. Unsealed. Alien Files. Exposing the biggest secret on planet Earth.
Del Rio, Texas, 1955. Colonel Robert B. Willingham is part of a squadron participating in a simulated bombing exercise that spots a blazing ball of light, brighter than a star, speeding east across the sky. Willingham watches with growing curiosity until suddenly the object makes a 90-degree turn to the south. The pilot receives permission to investigate and sets out in pursuit. He follows the UFO toward the Rio Grande, where moments later, it shudders and falls from the sky, crashing into the riverbank on the Mexican side. Returning to base, Willingham enlists the help of a colleague, and together they fly a small training aircraft back to the impact site. There, they find Mexican troops standing guard over a silver disc embedded in the ground. Willingham is startled to see the bodies of 3 alien crew members. The Mexicans demand the Americans leave immediately. But before he goes, the pilot quietly picks up a small piece of debris.
We start utilizing technology that, from an evolutionary standpoint, was created 10,000 or 100,000 or even 1,000,000 years beyond who we are and what we are today. We start playing with that technology, it could be a very dangerous scenario.
Returning to base in Fort Worth, Willingham examines the fragment. Its interior is honeycombed, but the metal proves stronger than solid steel. His attempts to cut into it with a torch have no effect. The fragment is unlike any metal Willingham has ever seen before. But before he can probe its secrets any further, Willingham is ordered to hand over the fragment to a laboratory in Maryland. It's the last he will ever see or hear of the mysterious metal. Soon after, Willingham receives a threatening phone call, warning him to never disclose what he saw that day on the Mexican border. It will take over 20 years for the pilot to come forward with his story. What happened to the Del Rio fragment? Who threatened Robert Willingham? And why were they so desperate to silence him? Experts believe that for decades, the American military has been involved in a secret program to reverse engineer recovered alien artifacts into the next generation of high-tech weapons.
How do you develop a metal that's very light, very malleable, but at the same time stronger than steel? Maybe they existed from the future, maybe they existed on another planet, but once we got our hands on this technology, we were able to figure out what it was supposed to do, then use our own industrial methodologies, our own scientific methods to recreate it.
And some think that an alien metal may have already brought the next great leap in military technology. Unsealed case file. The Dolnogorsk incident. Dolnogorsk, Russia, January 29th, 1986. Residents of this small mining town on the Soviet Union's Pacific coast watch in disbelief as a red sphere hurtles across the night sky before crashing into a mountainside. A crowd gathers at the point of impact. There, they discover a smoking crater surrounded by a wide area covered by a strange black film. On close inspection, the film contains strange metallic beads. The beads are discovered to be lead, but of a kind unlike anything seen before.
3 Soviet academic centers and 11 research institutes analyzed the objects from this UFO crash. The distance between atoms is different from ordinary iron in this material. Radar cannot be reflected from the material. Elements in the material may disappear and new ones appear after heating. One piece apparently disappeared completely in front of 4 witnesses.
The CIA launches its own investigation into the Dolnogorsk incident. A declassified 1989 report states that Soviet scientists are convinced the object was an extraterrestrial space vehicle constructed by highly intelligent beings. Samples of the metal are smuggled out of the country in the chaotic years following the fall of the Soviet Union. Recently, NASA's Langley Research Center announced the development of metal alloys that, when pierced by a bullet, will actually close behind the projectile as it passes through, healing the wound as though it was alive. Is NASA's new generation of living metal the result of the re-engineering of alien technology recovered at sites like Del Rio and Dolnogorsk? And what other effect might these exotic elements have on our future? Coming up, we investigate the potentially devastating toxic effects of UFO metals on Earth's already fragile environment.
This is Unsealed, Alien Files, exposing the biggest secret on planet Earth. Welcome back to Unsealed, Alien Files.
Many experts believe that alien metals recovered from crashed UFOs are secretly being re-engineered into the latest generation of military technology. But for every crashed UFO that is recovered, how many more land on Earth unnoticed? And what effect do these masses of alien metal have on our environment? Delphos, Kansas, November 2nd, 1971. 16-year-old Ron Johnson is working on the family farm when he spots a bizarre object hovering in the night sky. It's a metallic mushroom-shaped craft emitting a blinding light from its base. Ron runs to get his parents, but by the time they return, the UFO is almost out of sight. The craft, however, has left something behind. It's a glowing ring burned into the ground. The Johnsons later describe it as a strange kind of crust, as if the soil was crystallized. Fascinated, Ron's mother touches the ring. Her fingers immediately go numb. Returning the next morning, the family finds that an overnight shower has left the ground soaking wet, but the encrusted ring is bone dry. Officers confirm the Johnsons' description of the ring. A UFO investigator visits the site to take samples of the soil ring for analysis. It's found to contain hydrocarbon particles unknown to science, along with a strange organic material made up of white, crystal-like fibers. But what could have caused this? What transformed normal soil into an entirely new substance? The answer may lie within the UFO's hull. Man-made spacecraft rely primarily on aluminum in the construction of the outer shell. But the periodic table of elements also includes a number of radioactive metals, materials comparatively rare here on Earth. Could the presence of these radioactive elements be abundant in alien metals? Was the hull of the Delphos UFO radioactive, or was it imbued with another cosmic power we have yet to understand. Just 2 years prior to the Delphos UFO, in 1969, the U.S. government passes the Extraterrestrial Exposure Law, making it illegal for any citizen to retrieve or be in the proximity of any personnel, spacecraft, or other property that has entered our atmosphere from outer space. Presented as a national security measure to prevent possible contamination, the law grants government agencies sweeping authority to force any violators into immediate quarantine. Do UFOs really pose a significant health risk to the public?